We are here on January 31st for Webchat with the Mayor, another City Council week here, Pat. And one of the interesting items on the agenda that caught my eye was building numbers are in for 2011. And it looks like it was a slightly a down year for Woodstock.
Was the building permit numbers for the last 5 years have been very erratic with the, going back to the building of Toyota, the building permits with the hospital. But you take them out of the equation, and the commercial numbers, commercial industrial, were down about 5% this year over last year. So it's down, but just slightly. And the residential numbers have stayed pretty consistent over the last 5-year period. I think this year they were down maybe 10%, but the housing numbers have stayed fairly consistent.
Now, there is some good news in the City Council agenda this week in that a local company is looking to purchase some land, and it looks like it'll probably go through on Thursday night. Can you provide us with some details on what's happening?
Yes, we have a local company, Cornell Welding. They've been located in their present site for a number of years. They've expanded a few times, and now they're becoming they're running out of land, and so they've purchased from the city land that's at the back of their property, and it's a sale of 2 acres of land, so it'll allow them to continue to grow, but it's a local company that's been very successful.
And I understand they're getting a bit of a discount on this land. I guess there's no servicing in that area. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, the price they're paying is $55,000 an acre, and you take a look at how much servicing the city has to do, and because we're adding to the back parcel, there's really no servicing for the city to add. So it's a case again of a good local company that's been paying taxes and employing people for years and years. So you take a look at those factors when you're determining the land price.
All right. Let's talk about fishing in Southside Pond now. This is on the agenda for Thursday night. And where do you think we're going with this one? Are we going to outlaw fishing in Southside?
It appears that's the recommendation in the report. The concern was about the swans and fish hooks. And we don't know with the duck population, but certainly with swans, it's been well documented that a number have died, and a lot of the young ones because of fish hooks. And so residents came forward and said, look, you've got to make a decision. Either you allow fishing and move the swans, or keep the swans and eliminate fishing. So we've taken a look at it. The city bylaws really can't enforce no fishing. However, through the Ministry of Natural Resources and the use of a no trespass bylaw or rule, it will allow the enforcement of no fishing around Southside Pond. So the enforcement will have to be done by the Ministry of Natural Resources and by local police officers. However, again, it came down to a choice of, do you allow fishing, or if you want to save the swans, move the swans.
And so council will discuss that on Thursday night. Another issue that we've been reporting on, Pat, is what's taking place, some renovations at the former Mosaic Bar and Grill. Looks like a pretty significant bar could be opening up there in the near future. And the police chief outlined some concerns this week. Where do you stand on this issue?
Well, it's a balance, and I think that's what the police chief was trying to outline in his report. This is a license that will have, I believe, 575 bodies would be able to visit the establishment, so that's a good size. And the police chief is trying to balance. This is a business, and of course he's reacting to what other municipalities have faced with large establishments. And so you have noise control issues. He's concerned about parking issues, concerned about monitoring patrons going in, age of majority, those sorts of things that control. So something like this can be very good for the community, but it's a balance with making sure that it's enjoyable for everybody, because again, 575 Adam nips in a bar, that could be trouble.
That could definitely be trouble. But they've applied for a liquor license. Do you know what the timeline is to approve that?
No, I'm not. And again, I'm not aware of that.
Okay. And the budget will be tabled on Thursday night. Can't forget about that. Councillors have had an early look at it. And what can you tell us in advance of Thursday's meeting? meeting?
Well, the budget was distributed last night to councillors, so they're busy reviewing it before it will be tabled on Thursday. I will give you just a slight heads up to indicate that the levy increase that's proposed is smaller than last year, and it'll probably come as no surprise, like every other municipality, that the police and fire departments are the ones that seem to be are responsible for the largest increase in the levy.
And so that's your starting point then, is lower than last year's increase?
That's a good place to start. It's a trend that we want to continue, and it's something that we want to make sure that the decreases, they're fundamentally solid so that they can carry on for the years forward. I don't want to get into this game of playing get to zero by doing a whole bunch of accounting flip-flops that at the end of the day don't give you the solid foundation upon which to build.